We saw it with the former PM and we're seeing it with the current opposition leader. Saying no to everything is the easiest thing to do in opposition, but it builds nothing, it helps no one and it takes our country nowhere.
At least 100 people have been killed in a landslide in Papua New Guinea. The side of a mountain gave way, impacting a remote village about 600 kilometres northwest of Port Moresby. It's a hard-to-reach area. A Ferrari has been impounded after a joyride at Paracombe. The black sports car was clocked at 156 in an 80 zone on Gorge Road. The 61-year-old male driver has lost his licence and been reported for driving at an excessive speed and at a speed dangerous. Banks would be legally required to consult with communities before shutting down a local branch under the recommendations of a parliamentary inquiry. The probe into regional bank closures is recommending a mandatory code of conduct for the sector. It's also urging the federal government to consider setting up a publicly owned bank, which could be linked with Australia Post. A London-born teenager who died at the age of 15 is set to become the Catholic Church's first millennial saint. Lindsay Brennan has the story.
Carlos Acatus is touted as the patron saint of the internet for creating a website to catalogue miracles prior to his early death in 2006. Now, 2 of his miracles have been acknowledged by Pope Francis. In 2013, a Brazilian boy claimed Carlos posthumously cured him of a serious birth defect, while a young Costa Rican woman travelling in Italy 2 years ago says she was healed after suffering a head trauma. The teen's tomb has a permanent live stream where he can be seen wearing a sports jacket and sneakers.
There's a new star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame belonging to Australian Chris Hemsworth. The actor was joined by his wife, children and parents for the unveiling. Director George Miller full of praise for Hemsworth after they recently worked together on the latest Mad Max movie.
I was incredibly impressed by the way that he worked well beyond my expectations and in the way that he brought people together. So he's a great actor, and I'm so happy to say he's a great human being.
Now turning to FIVEAA Sport.
Adelaide's biggest trading card store celebrates 30 years in business. Get into Sports Card World now, Regent Arcade.
Western Bulldog Aaron Norton has been cleared of injuring his ACL following last night's loss to Sydney, but the 24-year-old has injured his medial ligament, ruling him out for up to 6 weeks. Freo play Collingwood in the West tonight. The game will be live on FIVEAA. Port have flown to Tassie ahead of tomorrow's clash with North Melbourne. Richmond coach Adam Uze is warning fans there'll be some teething problems in tomorrow night's Dreamtime clash against Essendon. The Tigers have 15 players unavailable for selection through injury. And Rafael Nadal has been given a tough draw at what is expected to be his final French Open. He'll face 4th seed Alexander Zverev first up. Now checking FIVEAA traffic.
G'day there, it's always Ree's got a crash to look out for. McIntyre Road near Bridge Road. Raffle crash there. Main North Road near Marmion Avenue. And Glendore today, Perth Watermain still continuing. South Road near Addison Road just near the tram overpass. 2 lanes out of action affecting both directions. Super heavy delays. Avoid South Road. Try using Goulburn or Maori Road instead today. Got a camera up Prospect Road at Kilburn. The Harvey Norman Furniture and Bedding floor stock clearance is on. Huge range of lounges, dining, mattresses, bedroom furniture and more. Price to clear. Limited time now at Harvey Norman. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on FIVEAA.
Now the FIVEAA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Partly cloudy this afternoon, sunny tomorrow, 21, Sunday sunny and 22, 22 again on Monday. Right now it's 17 degrees. Now let's check what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Brenton Raglas. Tonight, an Adelaide man takes out the $150 million Powerball win. The SA man and his critically injured wife trying to get home after the Singapore Airlines turbulence emergency. The new diabetes drug boasting better results than Ozempic. And AFL clubs warn they could face class action over historic racism claims. 9 News. Your news, nightly at 6 on 9 and on 9 Now.
Stay informed, get involved. FIVEAA, always Adelaide. The FIVEAA Sports Show.
Get around the little bar!
Stephen Rowe and Tim Jennifer.
Yes, 6 minutes after 4. Welcome on this Friday. Good afternoon. We are on location. It's our first Sample Live show of the year for Footy Friday, all thanks to Rusden Wines in the Barossa Valley, home of the Blackgut Shiraz, rusdenwines.com.au. Rowey, Timmy G, good afternoon.
Well done, Sammy. Yeah, we're live at Elizabeth Tavern. The first 100 through get a West End schooner. Timmy, you're not allowed to.
I was the first one through, mate.
Yeah. Oh, you've got one.
Got me free beer already.
It's high-vis city down here. We love it. Now, we've got meal tickets, footies to give away. Trittis will join us. Josh Carr will join us. Simon Hill. Please join us. It's a magnificent part of Elizabeth, right next to the shopping centre. Can't miss it. Probably a drop punt away from Elizabeth Oval. Timmy, where you probably kicked, what, couple?
Oh, yeah, we got
in your time?
we got kicked off the park a couple of times. Don't worry about that.
God.
Good fun, but I just want to know, in the front bar today, is the Powerball winner joining us today? That's all I want to know. It's the 150. It's you, love. Oh, well, no. Congratulations. I got you. Oh, right.
150
I
million.
thought we were in luck then.
And I heard our 5AA news. He still went to work today.
Yeah.
Fair dinkum.
Oh, there is no way in God's earth.
Well, he might be here tonight.
No, he went to work. Why would you go to work? You're 150 million.
Wow. Unreal.
You'd be mad.
What would you do? You buy a footy club?
I reckon I'd have a fair crack at it.
Yeah.
I'd give it a fair crack.
How long would it take?
Everyone's saying, it's too much money. I'd like to find out if it's too much money.
You know what you could do if you're the Adelaide Football Club? You could buy Theberton and a little bit of change.
That's not even funny.
He's causing trouble already.
Don't pat me on the head now, Sam. That's what Timmy G does. That is the worst comment I've heard come out your mouth.
You might need some more money.
You could afford it, though.
Yeah, well, actually, what's it costing? $1 million a month from now on?
Million at the moment.
We've still got the end of next month. Do we get an answer? Anyway, don't pick off a scab. Don't.
Not at this stage.
God,
exactly.
No.
Sorry,
You've just wrecked my day. Now, Port play North tomorrow in Hobart. Connor Rosie's back. Jordan Sweet, my man, the Jones boy. North are 0-10. They're simply awful, Tim. Surely you can't be nervous. Surely this game will be like shelling peas. Shelling peas.
You can't approach it like that because
yes, you can.
That's exactly what
They're
happened last
awful.
week against Hawthorn. They started very slowly. You can't relax.
Why are you being conservative?
Well,
look at you. Hands up. Who thinks Port by what? 10. See, 10, 15, 5, 20, 25.
All right. Anybody over 25 points?
God.
No, honestly, you can't. Look at their first half against the Bombers. They were fantastic. Within a goal, so you can't relax.
So you're nervous?
No, I'm not nervous. I just think they've got to make sure they get the first quarter right.
They'll get it right. Ken Hinkley at today's presser on North. Have a listen.
For us, it's more around just playing the brand of football that we want to play, and we need to play well. Now, hopefully we can play really well and we can get a good, solid win. But right now, I'll just take a win. I'm happy to get 4 points.
Yeah, very conservative, Kenny there. Well, what brand of footy will you see? The first 3 quarters against Hawthorn or the last quarter against Hawthorn?
Yeah, that's what you want. You want
right.
that last quarter just
the 4
surging
quarters,
like no tomorrow, and Zach Butter's getting 17.
Yeah, great. Connor Rosie's a big in. Have a listen to Ken.
More than enough. Probably more than he wanted, but he's got more than enough. But again, I live and learn. I'm not immune to mistakes, and I learned from that one, and I'm doing my absolute best to make sure it doesn't happen again.
He's still owning that.
Yeah.
That was a club collective.
I agree. Yeah. But the good thing is he's back.
He is. Now, Rosie, half forward, midfield, how are you managing him?
Look, I think they'll try and start him as per normal, and then if they need to pair back later on in the game, they can. So even if they choose to sub him, they can. So that's another option if they want to make sure that they're not fatiguing him, getting ready for that short break to the Thursday night Carlton game.
That's massive, isn't it? They've got to get this one right first. So Port supporters, have you say? I reckon Port by plenty. They are awful, North. There's no question. 8223 0000 is the sport line number. Crows are playing, and I'm going to say it. I'm happy to say it. You're not, because you're more humble than me. Crows are playing their bunny. There is no other word for it.
The West Coast Bunnies.
The West Coast Bunnies.
Got a new nickname.
Well, people are really getting into me on our Twitter line, and you can do. Unique Home Style Food text. Look at the last 6 games. Look at last year. Look at what's happened. Now, I know they're a different team, and they are a different team. But it's one bloke, basically. I've gone through the team from last year to this year.
You reckon it's one bloke?
Well, is he that good, Harley Reid? I'm going to do this. Here is Matty Nix, pre-game of the Collingwood game last week, speaking about Nick Dacos. Have a listen.
There'll be a fair bit of attention around Dacos. There's not many better than him in the competition, and he is hard to stop, whether that's a full tag or whether that's definitely a team focus. Yeah, he's an outstanding player. There's not many that impact the game as much as he does. We'll play that out. It won't be one thing we've locked in on. We've got a couple of plans in place.
Now, that was Nick Dacos last week. That was the coach speaking about it on the Thursday before the game. Nick Dacos had 18 possessions in the first quarter. He got 10 coaches' votes. He's a Monty for the 3 Brownlow. He was the clear best player. So I want to know what the tactics were from after that. And then I thought, well, this is interesting. Here's Matty Nix this week speaking about Harley Reid, who's played 9 games, who's 19 years old, yesterday in his pre-match.
Harley he'll definitely be in our sights as far as how we can stop him. He's a tough one to stop. He's a unique player, for such a young player and inexperienced to come in and perform the way he has. It's an outstanding thing that we're seeing at the moment. We'll back our midfield in to have a crack, and he also slides forward at times, so we'll be challenged with that also.
Same?
It sounded like the
same.
player.
Well, I don't want the same result.
No, that's right.
One bitten, twice shy. I don't want to see a 19-year-old in his 10th game run around like an unregistered dog on Adelaide Oval on Sunday without at least getting some sort of body on him and somebody putting him on his arse.
Yeah, to be fair, I think Nick Dacos is a way more advanced player.
No, I know that.
I don't think Harley can get 41.
But why talk him up? He's 19. He's played 9 games.
I think he looks like he's going to be a kid of the future, no doubt about that. But we're playing our game, and they should, because I think they're good enough to take control of that game very early on, regardless of young Hartley being in the middle.
No, but I don't think you're getting what I'm saying. Nick Dacos, they had a plan for him.
No, they didn't.
He got no. Now you're with me.
Yeah.
And you let him run around like an unregistered dog. Yeah. Are you going to let a 19-year-old do the same thing? You can't.
There was no run with roll there. And I'm not sure that Adelaide have actually done a lot of hard tags in their time, have they?
No.
I know Ben Keys has gone to a couple at stoppage and things like that.
But I'm not even asking that. Bumper bar him, block him, make it hard for him, target him. You do it. Your mob's done it. You did it. Was it
Max
Gawn?
Yeah. And they've done that in the past. Well, they did it at Stewart
Welcome
a couple of weeks ago.
This kid, Harley Reid, who's been on the back page of the Western Australian 19 times, and he's going to be a gun. Don't get me wrong. Show him what AFL's all about, because he could be the difference between a win or loss.
Welcome to Adelaide Oval.
Welcome to Adelaide Oval, where you've lost your last 6 by an average of 62 points.
Yeah.
I want us to be on the front foot. Every bloody person from the Crows I heard talk about him was pumping up Harley Reid. Yeah. Why don't you just hand him the 10 coaches' votes? Well, you know where I'm coming from?
Absolutely.
Is that being a bit harsh?
Oh, no, I don't think it's being harsh, but I think last week was probably the thing that got through your guard, that the attention that was promised on Dacos just didn't happen. So therefore, you're saying
I don't want the same.
Don't let it repeat.
Exactly right.
Against Reid.
Port by plenty, Crows by plenty for mine. My best bet or my exotic bet. Now I know we got Tez and your bets.
Yes, that's correct.
So I thought you'd gamble
returning
responsibly.
Greatly at the moment.
We've got to say that as we're down at the Elizabeth Tavern. The 5 is city down here. If you put Port 25 points plus into the Crows 25 points plus, it's paying $2.17.
You reckon guaranteed?
I would put a rock lobster on that. That's 20. No, bugger it. A suit on.
Yeah.
I'd put 100 on that. You double your money.
Wow. All right. Double your money. All right.
Now, if that doesn't happen and people did that, and I'm hoping the bloke that won the 150 million puts
a caveat on it.
I'll
cover your bets, Rowey.
Oh, God. Now, again, a lot of people going, I bet you Rowey talks about the umpires. And as we're sitting here on the big screens, great tavern, isn't it? The Sydney Western Bulldogs game is on.
Is.
So that's very appropriate. Now I thought I'd bash umpires because it had no effect on the Crows, had no effect on Port. So this gives it the levity of how bad these 2 umpiring decisions were. So work me. They shouldn't be in the spotlight, I know that. But at the end of the day with umpires, for me, there's no consequence and there's no accountability. Would you agree with that?
That you see or hear?
Well, I don't see anything. You can have the worst decision, have the worst game, and that bloke that umpired the Crows game the week before, he had a game this week. I don't know what they do behind closed doors, but I think as a fan I want to see more consequence and I want to see more accountability. Now, there were two 50-metre penalties. Well, let's do this one first. The umpire paid a free kick against Warner. Now, in everybody's eyes, that tackle by Warner was the perfect tackle. So he got that wrong. I get that. Yep. And then he pointed to the screen and it was dissent. And again, pointing to the screen with a smile on your face, is that dissent? Is that worth 50-metre penalty and a certain goal?
No.
So that's the second problem. But have a listen how Channel 7 heard that.
Deliberate underground ball to Vandermeer, run down by Warner, and a high tackle. Has to be careful he doesn't give away 50 here. Pointing to the scoreboard, and that's 50. 50
metres, dissent.
Dissent, pointing to the scoreboard then.
We're pointing at the screen.
Pointing to the scoreboard, 50 metres, dissent. Back in our day and earlier, you could tell an umpire to go forth and multiply. Yes. He would respond, go forth and multiply. And Rowey, how about you get a kick, you useless fat heap of...
There was a lot of two-way street.
There was. Was there or was there not?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's called accountability. That's called consequence. That's immediate feedback. These blokes get no feedback.
Can I tell you that what will happen? And I'll go and see their coach of the umpires. They'll sit down, they'll watch that vision, and I bet you anything they say, right, you probably got the too high wrong, but the dissent is correct. I bet you they pay that.
Of course they will.
And I don't agree with that at all. Because all he did was point at the scoreboard to say, look, I reckon you might have made a mistake. I mean, he wasn't demonstrative or insulting.
No, because they think they're bigger than the game. They insert themselves in the game. They want to be the... I'm not going to mention his number, but people that hear me call the footy know the man, the quiff. I call him the quiff. This bloke has a quiff. Why wouldn't you just get short back and sides, be seen and not heard, and just umpire the game in right? The quiff was the one that did that. This is the big one. At 2 minutes 36 on the clock, Bulldogs were coming like a steam chain. They were 9 points down. There was a 50-metre penalty played against Vandermeer. Like in the marking action, he spoilt it. 50-metre penalty, and they got a goal. Have a listen to Channel 7 again.
McInerney immediately slicing with a beautiful kick, finds McLean. He'll be able to use his 30 seconds here. 50 metres, BT.
Looked like he had a fair play on the ball. Oh, that is tough.
No, that's not 50.
That is not it.
So here's the thing, and Timmy and I and the people at Elizabeth Tavern, we've workshopped this all afternoon. To and fro on our WhatsApp, our team app, we get in at about, 1:30 or 2, and we work out what is the answer for the standard of umpiring. Now, I know what it is. It's get it to 3, because there's not enough of these clowns going around. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Sorry, I apologise. I'll get told off for that. Sorry, they're not clowns. They are. They do a fantastic job. Not. Do the umpires get too much attention and they have no responsibility? Who are they accountable to? These are questions I want to know the answers to. What's the ramifications for a poor game or a poor decision? Because I see them umpiring the next week.
And that's a good question, because I don't know that there is enough depth and or stock to be able to say, oh, listen, you're dropped to the 2s, which once upon a time did happen. So I'm not sure Steve McBurney has got that luxury just yet. But I think it's a question. He's only just come into the chair in April.
He is a ripper. He is very good in the media.
Let's ask him.
That's exactly right. But it takes us to make an appointment to get him on. Why can't the umpire boss, every Monday, come on, face the media throng, and answer those questions to give us a level of comfort?
I think it was
that
one of the
there
things
are ramifications.
Jimmy Bartell said if he got that job at AFL House as head of football, that he would have done a regular umpiring presser.
But we've all got kids. I've got grandkids now. My daughter Tori, she's 24. If she has an hour shower and an hour shower and an hour shower and an hour shower and an hour shower,
that's
and I get a bill if I get a bill like that, and I don't say, Tori, could you just, for God's sake, have a 5-minute shower? There's no responsibility for her. She still has an hour shower. It's the same thing with these umpires.
No
they don't get clipped. There's no accountability.
Are you looking after the umpires?
No, I'm not. So what's the answer? 822 300 00. And I don't want it to be an umpire bashing session.
No.
Well, actually, yes, I do.
Yes.
They need to have accountability. What is it? Is it the boss on Monday facing everyone? I hear Chris Scott, Brad Scott, all of them have appointments with them. They get letters, they get this, they get that. They do it behind closed doors. But I'm the fan. I'm the one it affects. We're the ones that it affects more than anyone. And we're told not to boo, not to jeer, not to... Well, no. What's the answer? 8223 0000. And I know people go, Rowey, you're having a sook again, or you're umpire bashing. Yes, I am.
Well, we want you to answer that question. Do umpires need more accountability? 8223 0000. We'll get your calls after the break. The best caller tonight, it's our Footy Friday, gets themselves a Rusden Blackgut Shiraz. How good is that? We're going to ask Treaders as well. He joins us after 5 o'clock. We've got Josh Carr from Port Adelaide, Simon Hill, Sue Dewing from the Sturt Footy Club. Not good news down there at Unley Oval overnight.
That's
Terry
shocking.
McAuliffe is going to join us as well with some tips. We are live here at the Elizabeth Tavern. We've got a $100 Elizabeth Tavern voucher to give away at some point as well. So get yourself involved. Get down here. It's going to be an awesome night until 6 o'clock. 8223 0000. Your call's next.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show. 5AA is Adelaide's leader in sport. Thanks to Rossdale Homes. Check out our display villages throughout Adelaide and the Hills. They're open all this weekend.
Whether you're moving house, moving materials or moving people, calling Budget Car and Truck Rental is always your best move. Our huge range of vehicles make any move smooth, with trucks, vans, cars, utes, hybrids, 12 to 25-seater buses and more. Find your nearest Budget in the Adelaide CBD, Salisbury, Clemzig, Wingfield, Marsden, Morfett Vale or the airport. Budget Car and Truck Rental. Get to the good stuff. Call 13 27 27 or visit budget.com.au.
If you want to get off-road with confidence, make sure your four-wheel drive is TJM equipped. Now's the time to do it with big savings on Lovell's GVM and BTC kits and get up to 22% off kit prices. Save over $1,000 on selected vehicle kits, including a wide range of vehicles from Ford Rangers, Toyota Prado, Toyota Land Cruiser 70 Series and 200 Series. You better hurry though, it's on while stocks last, only at TJM Nailsworth and Clavelli Park. Some T's and C's apply.
Whoa, Rowey, I love it. I got a call last night. Guess who from? Mr. Zorba.
You mean Jimmy from Mr. Meats?
Yeah, correct.
That's the one on Grange Road.
Yeah, absolute champion.
Mr. Greek, I call him.
You got him just before South Road there. You can't miss it as you're heading into the city. He said, look, he's got some special deals for this weekend because you get everybody around the TV, watch the footy, and he's got these lamb loin chops. Now, he covers them up in his special Greek herbs from his hometown of Kalimnos. Kalimnos. I'll get it right, Jimmy. Don't worry. Now, the main thing is these lamb loin chops are only $18.99 per kilo. They are brilliant. They're an icon of the shop because of his special herbs. You'll be addicted right away.
You will. I love his famous Lukanika sausages.
Oh, yeah.
God.
That's his favourite.
He's got the hot chili. He's got the mild.
And they're
you can
hot.
take your pick. Oh, boy. To top it all off, throw his chicken or lamb souvlaki on the hot plate. You haven't had a barbie until you try our mate, Mr. Zorbo's Meats, Jimmy at Mr. Meats.
You will not regret it, let me tell you. Jimmy's Meats are incredible. Fire up the barbie this weekend. Watch the footy. Get your mates around. Go and see Jimmy. He'll love you. You'll love him. He's Mr. Meats, 43 Grange Road, West Hindmarsh. Tell him Rowey and Timmy sent you.
Yay!
UniSuper is open for every Australian to join. With great long-term performance, low fees and 40 years of knowledge, UniSuper makes it easier to shape brighter futures with more for tomorrow. Aim higher with award-winning super and see a future worth retiring for at unisuper.com.au. Look forward. Think great. Past performance is not an indicator of future performance. Consider UniSuper's PDS and TMD on its website before making decisions.
IKEA's new lower prices on hundreds of products means you can make more life happen for less. Like more sleep-ins with the Brimness Queen Bed with storage for the new lower price of $399. Make it happen for less at ikea.com.au.
When you think about it, quality household appliances make our lives so much easier. And at Adelaide Appliance Gallery, even choosing an appliance is easy. Celebrate 125 years of quality with Miele at Adelaide Appliance Gallery. With the best advice, the best appliances and the best deals on Miele. Get 10% off plus a 5-year warranty on Miele built-in cooking, refrigeration, dishwashing and laundry appliances. Limited time only. Make your life easier with Miele and Adelaide Appliance Gallery, Paynham Road, St Peters.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
26 after 4, we are live at the Elizabeth Tavern for our Footy Friday. Do umpires need more accountability? What's the answer? 8223 help us out. A bottle of Rusden Wine's Black Gut Shiraz to win. Very shortly here, we're going to give away the Raffle winner as well, Timmy. Just been told there's West End merch to give away, sample tickets. It's all in prep for the Centrals Norwood game tomorrow. But first, let's check your traffic of course, Ignition for Men, for the top brand tailor-fitted men's suits and casual wear. See Ignition for Men, 54 Paynham Road, Stepney.
Afternoon at Salisbury East, a crash, McIntyre Road near Bridge Road. At Raffle, another collision there, Main North Road near Marmion Avenue. At Para Hills, Westburst Water Main on Maxwell Road at Bridge Road, seeing delays there. Slow at the moment at Blair, Russell Street near Sheoak Road, with cameras Chief Street, Brompton, and Cheltenham Parade at Cheltenham. Hey FIVEAA, don't delay. Keep sneezing at bay with Telfast non-drowsy relief. Get the 70-pack on sale now at Chemist Warehouse. Always follow the directions for use. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Yes, here at the Elizabeth Tavern, promoting the Norwood and Centrals game happening tomorrow at Elizabeth Oval. Also, I know I asked if the Powerball winner was here, but is there anybody in the room that's got a McGarry medal? Is there anybody? Oh, Greg Anderson! Unbelievable!
And he's still got the same haircut.
Yeah, he looks like he just won it. Well done. Let's go to Robert at Unglevale. What do you reckon about Rowey's umpires?
Well, what I'd like to say is that Stephen should have a good think about it, because has it ever crossed his mind that he's been bashing umpires for every day that I can remember, and he should maybe take it up umpiring and show them how to do it, and instead of criticising, and maybe his side would probably get a fair run from the umpires then, instead of criticising them.
Have you ever umpired, Stephen?
No. Why would I?
Well, you seem
No, but Robert, that's not the answer. That's not the solution.
No.
Getting a big, fat, middle-aged man to get out there with a whistle and blow. I want the umpires that are there now to get it right more often than they get it wrong, and stop inserting yourself. Stop sitting in front of a mirror and getting a quiff and putting yourself in the game.
That's being facetious.
I don't think fashion's got anything to do with it.
Well, okay, but they're different to what they were in our day. Hands up here who thinks the umpires are different to what they were. Have they gotten any better?
I mean, a few hands.
It's unanimous. Few hands. It was unanimous. Every hand went up.
30%.
But I don't want to bash them. And Robert's right. What is the answer? I want more accountability. As a fan, I want more accountability. How do we get that?
Visible.
Visible accountability.
That might be happening.
Good words, Timmy G.
Go to WA, Canning Vale. G'day, Dave.
G'day guys, how you going?
Good, buddy.
Don't shut me off. I've got a radical idea, I think. Give the umpires more money. Pay them more. And attract a different level of people as a career goal. And the big but is that they must be held accountable by a panel every month, if you like, or every fortnight or every week. And they must meet certain standards. And for all the bloopers and what have you, they get a cross. And those crosses relate to loss of income by a certain amount of money. Now, if they have a perfect match, if it's 100% or 100 points, they get full pay. But if they don't, that comes out of the wage packet. What do you think about that?
Cut your pay. I like it, Dave. All right, there you go. So it's performance-based. Basically, it's like a salesperson. If you reach certain levels, you get commission. And this, if you get certain amount wrong, you either drop your commission or you increase your commission.
Okay.
Interesting theory. I mind it. It's in the running for the Black Guts.
It certainly is. 8223 Just before we get to the headlines, we are doing a raffle here at the Elizabeth Tavern. Timmy, I have a ticket in front of me. Everyone in this room has, I think, got some involvement in this. There's a prize pack to give away. Timmy, who's our lucky winner?
It is a blue ticket, B07.
Who's the winner?
It's the winner.
There he is, working the Crows Guernsey.
He's up the Crows, man.
How good is that? Happy
Come on
days.
up.
He's a Norwood fan as well. That's why he's out here. Red Legs and Doggies this weekend for the sample. It's time for the 4:30 headlines. We're going to speak to Josh Carr next from Port Adelaide.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good afternoon, Mel Usher with the latest news headlines. The Salisbury OTR has a new claim to fame. They sold the $150 million Powerball ticket. It's feared at least 100 people have been buried and killed in a major landslide in Papua New Guinea. The federal opposition says vapes should be legalised and taxed, arguing the extra revenue could be used to fund prevention programs. And in sport, tonight's footy action is in the west when FIVEAA hosts Collingwood. Now checking 5AA traffic.
G'day there, a Glandore burst Watermain South Road near Addison Road. Got two lanes out of action, pretty solid delays. Avoid South Road if you can. Try Goulburn or Malrine roads instead this Saturday. Crash at Salisbury, East McIntyre Road, Bridge Road, and another crash at Blair Athol, Main North Road near Marmion Avenue. Slow right now, Taplings Hill Road at Glenorg North with the camera. Days Road at Ferreton Park. Harris Scarf's 4-day Friends sale ends today. Save 60% off full price cook sets by Swiss Diamond and Rayco. Conditions apply. Harris Scarf, great brands, great prices. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast down to 8 tonight, sunny and 21 tomorrow. Right now it's 17. We'll have more news at 5 and as it happens on 5AA.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
In the past 7 days, we've brought you the Burnside story, the Holdfast Bay story, and the story about Milton Vidula shutting his business because he was basically hounded out by the pro-NIMBY Council. It's a disgrace.
Adelaide's leading breakfast show.
Like, this is genuine.
It's time for the higher tier of government to start asking some hard questions.
Yes, they need a bit of a sit down.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Good health is contagious. Yep, we're wired to pick up all the best bits from one another. And at FIVEAA, we're helping it spread around Australia by helping our almost 4 million members live healthier, whatever that looks like for them. Because every time they do, someone else will too. Join FIVEAA for award-winning health insurance and feel good health catch on.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. National Tiles' famous once-a-year May Mayhem is the biggest and best ever. Spend $1,000 and we'll only charge you $750. Or spend $2,000 and we'll only charge you $1,450. That's right, spend $2,000 and we'll only charge you $1,450. Don't miss the biggest and best National Tiles May Mayhem event of all time. So rush into National Tiles now and save. Conditions apply.
You know what's become a huge deal at Mawson Lakes Mazda? Our end of financial year deals. Want to know a secret? We can give you amazing prices right now. Yep, Mawson Lakes Mazda is clearing new and demo stock at prices you'll normally get in June. And they're available for immediate delivery. Don't wait. Get in before the end of financial year rush. Mawson Lakes Mazda, just a short drive from the city.
Can you imagine being a superhero?
With a sidekick.
Can you imagine you can fly?
Your sidekick shows up wherever you are.
In a fancy blue truck.
And whatever you point at disappears.
1-800-GOT-JUNK is your sidekick.
We're twitching in anticipation.
Vibrating with energy.
We carry away whatever you point at.
Any home or apartment.
Workplace or job site.
We're industrial strength sidekicks.
All you have to do is point.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Or visit 1-800-GOTJUNK.com.au.
It's no surprise that Alfred James Funeral Homes is there for families in their time of need. They've been doing so for over 100 years. What may be surprising is the lengths they'll go to help you pay tribute to the life journey of your loved one. A song choice that's unconventional. A eulogy that's both heartwarming and hilarious. Oh, and launching their ashes into orbit on a SpaceX rocket. Pre-plan yours with us now. Alfred James Funeral Homes, honouring lives in extraordinary ways.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Welcome back at 25 minutes to 5. We are live at the Elizabeth Tavern for our Footy Friday. Treaders is going to join us here live at 5 o'clock. The Crows team has just dropped. They've made 4 changes for the game against West Coast on Sunday. We know Rankin and Himmelberg are already out. Ned McHenry has been taken out of the side, and Will Hamill has also exited for the Crows. Coming in, we know Harry Schonberg is making a return, which is great news. Chris Burgess is in. Sam Berry's into the team as well as Borlays. The 4 changes for Adelaide.
Well done. Thank you very much. Port Adelaide tomorrow afternoon down in Tasmania take on North Melbourne. We've got the midfield coach Josh Carr on the line. G'day, Carrie.
Good evening, fellas.
You just got a nice big cheer here, a few fans at the Elizabeth Tavern, mate. So there you go, mate. Popular wherever you go.
Well, it's nice to have one.
Hey, mate, just quickly, just floating back to last Sunday, what would you say, the pandemonium that was happening in the last seconds, is that a scenario where you just hope that the players know how to take control of that? Because I would imagine it's very hard for a coach to get a message out at that very, very small break that you've had in between the Rowey goal and the centre clearance. So is it just a matter of you hope that what you've done in preparation comes to fruition?
Oh, definitely. We spent a lot of work on those scenarios during, obviously pre-season to during the year with, 1 minute to go and trying to win the game and trying to save the game. I picked up the phone, about to send a message out for that last centre bounce, but then I thought to myself, just leave it, let the boys take care of it, and they obviously did. They did a great job in executing first centre bounce, but obviously getting the ball inside 50 and putting Hawthorn under pressure.
Yeah, it was a terrific finish in the end. We saw the scenes on the bench. We saw the scenes on the oval. What were they like in the box with you guys?
Yeah, it was pretty hectic. There was a lot of screaming and celebrating, and obviously to get that win was something that was a great experience.
Well, those two certainly put us in a great position of 7-3, which we need to take advantage of in the next two. So, coming down to play North Melbourne, and we know that they haven't won a game this season, but is one of the biggest challenges just getting our group ready to go first bounce, frothing at the mouth?
Yeah, I guess off the back of last week and obviously really slowly coming out of the blocks and not getting off to a great start was probably a great reminder going into this game this weekend. So, our intent and with the way we approach this game is really important. And it's not necessarily always about the opposition who you play. It's about how you approach the game and how you turn up. And this week, I feel like we've had a really good week on the track, and really, I think we are ready to go and well prepared.
I heard you say when you're being interviewed during the week about so who says what, who does what. You said that I love the line. It was best idea wins, and I did like that. But is that at breaks only, or is it during the week? Is it at selection? Where does best ideas win start and finish?
I think it's in everything that we do. When we come in as coaches and we're talking about the game plan and we're talking about our areas, if any other coaches has got a great idea and it's not necessarily their area, then you're always open to getting better. And that's no different to when you're sitting down with the players and you're going through your plan for opposition. The players are the ones that are out there, and they usually have great ideas, and you've got to be really open to getting better and listening to everyone.
Joshy, let's face it, North are awful. They're 0-10. I'm interested in your coaching and your leadership messaging ahead of this game. Do you actually tell them, listen, this is how bad they are?
What do you think, Rowey? Definitely not.
Well,
Definitely
I had coaches that would have. They would have said to me, hey, you are that much better than this mob. Let's get this and this and this right. I know it's process and structure and get your mental aspect of it right. But I'm just interested in a modern coaching environment. Would you actually say they're awful?
No, you wouldn't, and you don't. We're not disrespectful to who we play. I think if you approach the game in the right way, and if you don't just look at the talent, and that's what you're talking about really, is talent versus talent, and you only want to play the game on talent, then you're opening yourself up to nearly what happened last week versus Hawthorn. But if you approach the game in the right way with the right attitude, and your intent is right, and you get your contest right, you get your pressure right, then I guess the talent looks after itself.
Yeah, well answered. How will you manage Connor Rosie's, game time and role?
Connor's, he's ready to go. He's 100%. I know we touched on it last week, but he had a good week on the track last week going into the game, and obviously could have quite easily played, but as I stated last week, you do learn your lessons, and we held him back for another week, and he's 100%. He'll play, the normal game time that he plays. He'll spend Obviously, the majority of his time is a midfielder, but he'll go forward and play forward at times.
Hey, Josh, their first half I thought was very competitive against Essendon, only a goal down at half-time, but I thought their big fella, Cherry, he won the battle against two reasonable ruckmen in Goldstein and Wright and won the hit-out, so he's a fair competitor.
Yeah, I've obviously watched his games pretty closely, and he's a big boy, and he's taken some big steps forward this year as a ruck, and he likes to grab it out of the ruck, and he's quite physical in the way that he approaches it. So obviously Sweetie comes in, we feel like Sweetie's size against him is going to be important to give us a good look at it.
Hey Josh, all the best down there in Tasmania.
Well done, Joshy.
Bring back the 4 points and we'll see you Thursday night.
Thanks guys, thanks for having me.
That's Josh Carr, midfield coach of Port Adelaide.
Unique home-style food tech, so I'm getting smashed for that question to Josh, but I'm going to put it to you, Timmy. I don't know a coach, his name was Neil Barn, probably the coach I had for the longest time of my playing days. He had no qualms in saying in the pre-match how ordinary the opposition is, and he'd basically build you up. Rowey, you're playing Timmy. This is hypothetically, because he wouldn't say it about you because you used to always beat me. But he'd build you up and say how bad the opposition is. Did Jack ever do that? Did he ever... Now it's behind closed doors. They're not in the media saying,
I know what you mean. Yeah.
You know what I'm trying... And I know Jack would have done that.
Yeah, I think pre-game we would have had an expectation about winning, but his big thing, and I think most of it is just about the attitude you go in with it, and the attitude that you go to that first bounce with.
What's wrong with going in with an attitude that you're better than them?
Yeah, but I can remember playing sides that were struggling and being down at quarter time, and that's because you've sort of floated in thinking you're just going to win. You always have to do the basic hard work to get it done, don't you? And
it's interesting psyche.
It is an interesting psyche to get it right. We'll take some calls. We go to South Plimpton. G'day, Steve.
G'day, guys. How you going?
Good, buddy.
I think one of the worst things they've ever done with these umpires is put numbers on their back.
Okay, yeah. For identification.
It's just given them like almost a celebrity status. You know who umpire number 22 is. You know who this is. My experience has been the best umpires are the ones you don't notice.
Spot on.
If you watch a game and you don't know which umpire was what, at the end of the game, they've done a good job.
Yeah, great call. So how do we fix it? So there's a good answer. Take the numbers off their back. Another caller earlier said, let's hear from the coach's ump. And another caller has said, well, if they have a stinker, sack them for a week.
Well,
send them to the sin bin for 2 weeks.
And I was wondering whether that's even possible because of the numbers.
Yeah. But again, there's too many, and I keep going back to this. I don't know why we can't just have 3.
Yeah, I reckon we need to revert back to that. We'll go to Fred. G'day, Fred. What's your thoughts?
Hi boys, how you going?
Good, buddy.
Yeah, look, I've been a match officials for nearly 25 years now. And I do time to time mentoring young kids that come through the ranks, and also been nearly to the professional level. There's the thing is with the umpires, the referees, it's not an easy fix because at the end of the day, the division, the umpire, referee divisions, whatever sport you're playing, they teach you the rules, which is all good and fair. You know, they teach you the rules, you learn the rules, the laws of the games, and you apply them on the field. But the thing is, it comes down to you, to your personality, and to yourself to make the right call in that moment for the right of the game. So a referee or umpire should never, ever, unless you really have to, that's obvious, never be the reason which way the game gets decided.
Yeah, Fred, I agree with you. Hopefully that doesn't come down to that. I did have a suggestion from the crowd that perhaps when they make a mistake at work, they have to go back and do an online refresher. So perhaps that's one thing they might be able to do, an online refresher.
We brought this up because we all watched the Thursday night footy game between the Swans and the Bulldogs.
Yeah.
There were 2 absolute howlers. And it seems every week there's howlers. And the reason we're harping on it now is either of our teams are in it.
You're more so, though. You know umpires are going to make mistakes, don't you?
No, but
no, you
those
do.
sort of mistakes.
But
Oh, no, I do
So
understand they
players
will.
make mistakes.
Yeah, I get
Coaches
that.
make mistakes.
And I keep getting
umpires
told
are
that.
gonna,
I keep
they're going to
getting
make
told
mistakes, okay? It's more so your probably frustration is when something like that happens, which is a howler. What is the accountability? We don't see it.
I don't see it.
It's not visible. We don't hear anything about it. And that's probably the frustration.
But again, I don't want to keep harping on the 60s, 70s and 80s was the panacea for everything. It's the best footy.
No.
The game is fantastic.
But don't worry, there were phone calls every Monday about those as well. Let's go to Tanunda and speak to Russell.
Hey, boys, I reckon that there should be an independent review. And then once a month or so, a bit like the other caller said earlier, but I reckon they should be fined if it's a huge stuff-up. They get a warning or 2 warnings, and if they keep making the same mistakes, they get fined.
I'll fine them.
That.
Go for a fine.
I don't know whether that'll work.
Yeah.
But again, I go back to this. So Warner lays the perfect tackle. The umpire makes a howler. I was always taught in life, don't make one bad decision turn into 2. So then, with a smile on his face, Warner says, oh, look, I've just seen the replay, just casually. That's the sent 50-metre penalty, certain goal. Now, say that happened in the dying minutes of a prelim, an elimination final or a grand final. That's what I'm trying to guard
They
against.
won't play it. There's a massive shift and change when it comes to grand finals.
All right.
They take less risk.
Yeah, that's true as well. And you get the best 4 umpires now, don't you, on the big day?
That's 44.
If you want a double pass to the Adelaide Thunderbirds, who play the New South Wales Swifts on Saturday night, we have a double pass for you. It's at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre, 8223
Grand final replay.
It actually is, and they are 2 great teams. That'll be a fantastic match. So make sure you get your tickets. Double pass, 8223 0055. And Timmy, we are live here at the Elizabeth Tavern. We have raffle tickets coming out of our ears. We have another winner.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, get your raffle tickets ready. Red ticket. Who's got a red ticket? A for Apple. Number 5.
There it is.
We have a winner.
It's another Crows fan.
Yeah, that might be an
Crows jacket out the back.
Is it? Oh, Adelaide United.
Everywhere.
That is fantastic. 12 minutes to 5. Let's check your roads out there for top brand tailor-fitted men's suits and casual wear. See Ignition for Men, 54 Paynham Road, Stepney.
Afternoon at Glendale, burst water main to look out for. South Road near Addison Road, 2 lanes out of action. Really solid delays are avoid South Road. Best options are Marion or Goodwood Road this hour. Salisbury to crash, McIntyre Road near Bridge Road, and another collision at Blair Athol, Main North Road near Marmion Avenue. Cameras today, Port Road, Queenstown and Prospect Road at Kilware. The 40 Winks flash sale is this weekend only. Get bed matched and receive up to 50% off your mattress purchase. T's and C's apply. Go to better sleep at 40 Winks. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G.
He's one of the most decorated AFL players in recent history.
Bartel.
Catch Cats Premiership legend Jimmy Bartel talking footy each week with Rowey and Timmy G. Thanks to Statesman Windows, Adelaide's most trusted boutique window company. SA family owned and operated since 1980.
Selected Austrac campers come with a wireless Bluetooth reverse camera, giving you a crystal clear view of everything behind you. Tommy, I see you with those chocky bickies. Put 5 of those back, please.
Austrac Campus. Series Music is making history with Adelaide's biggest ever music sale. Well over $1 million worth of gear has been priced to clear. Get up to 60% off drums, up to 30% off electric guitars, bass guitars, amps and accessories, with discounts on keyboards, brass and woodwind, PA systems and more. Series Music is so serious about clearing the entire store with over $1 million worth of gear priced to clear. In store only right now. This is a once only opportunity. Series Music, 41 McGill Road, Stepney.
If you need to move from A to B this autumn, your best move is hiring from Budget Car and Truck Rental.
Yeah, correct. Get started. You'll need boxes, tape, storage, you name it, furniture covers, and you keep your possessions pristine. You've got to get Budget and they'll have you all sorted.
Now, you've got to get the perfect set of wheels. That's the key. At Budget, they've got them all. Cars, big and small, moving vans, trucks available, standard driver's license. Plus, they've got the utes, the hybrids, the trailers, 12 to 25 seat buses and much more.
Yeah, so once you've chosen which vehicle, then grab Budget's blankets, the trolley, ensure that the move just goes smooth.
Job done, Timmy, with Budget, a family-owned business. I love that about them. Friendly staff that you can count on, multiple locations across SA. You know the number, 132727. Call budget on 132727.
It's all about the numbers in the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery. 3 lucky families will win 7 nights in London, 7 nights in Paris, and 7 nights in Rome. Or choose $100,000 in cash just for getting in early. But hurry, the early bird deadline is next week. Plus, your tickets stay in more than 11,000 draws, including 2 grand prize homes. Life-changing prizes, life-changing impact. Homelottery.com.au. Licence M14548. Steinborner Automotive in Gawler, Barossa and Clare has always been well worth the trip, especially with their end of financial year sale on over 500 new, used and demo cars, including over 100 certified used commercial utes in stock, many with new car warranties and low kilometres packed with accessories. Plus, they're offering an additional $1,500 trade-in bonus on all trade-ins. Head to one of Steinborner's 8 locations or view the whole range at steinborner.com.au. Steinborner Automotive. It's well worth the trip.
It's Milton from Vidoulis Garden Centre. After 64 years, Vidoulis Garden Centre is closing its doors. With huge savings on all stock, now is the best time to come in and grab a bargain. Plants, pots, fertilisers and tools, gifts, homewares and outdoor furniture. It's all got to go. First in, best dressed. Vidoulis Garden Centre's closing down sale. On now while stocks last. Main North Road, Gawler, opposite the racecourse.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the FIVEAA Sports Show.
We are live here at the Elizabeth Tavern. It's our Footy Friday Sample Live, our first one of the year, all thanks to Rusden Wines. Best caller of the night gets themselves and Rusden Wines Blackgut Shiraz. Treaders to join us here shortly.
Well, Crows take on the West Coast Sunday. Be live and local on 5AA. Crows, well, they're playing a rejuvenated West Coast. Now, when I say that they're their bunnies for the last 6 games, will suggest that. Last year, Taylor Walker kicking 10 and 9 would suggest that. The margins of 60 and 40, a joint 100 points. Last game of the year would suggest that. But it's a different looking team. They're rejuvenated after that West Coast win against Melbourne. And if you look at their real good players, they've got stars on every line. Duggan, Barras, McGovern at the top of their game. They're down back. You've got Waterman. He's kicked 29 goals this year. Joint leader with the Coleman. Coleman, correct. Darling and Flying Ryan. Nearly took mark of the year again last week. Yeah. You've got Elliot Yeo back, who the Crows are apparently going to pay $1.3 million next year in his first year. Tim Kelly and Harley Reid. That's not a bad starting midfield. So they have absolute guns. Only the Crows' best for 4 quarters will get this done. And we say this every week. I'm confident they can do that. Have a listen to Coach Matthew Nix at yesterday's presser.
Yeah, they're playing great footy. Statistically, just purely watching on the vision, you've got some really young guys that are coming through and bringing enthusiasm. Obviously, Reid's the standout in that space, but there's more than Reid. And then their older players are fit and playing back to their best footy again. So they've taken some scalps. They're playing a really strong brand of footy that we rate really highly. Very similar to our style at the moment. Needs to be our DNA, and so it's going to be a really hard in and under contest.
It's home. The record's in the Crows' favour. It's going to be 20 degrees, so good weather. They're disappointed after that close loss last week. They're a very, very competitive team. And as I said, they've smacked West Coast in the last 6 games. Taylor Walker, 19 goals in his last 2 games. It's round 24 last year. I think they won by over 40, which is the last sighted. So I thought, well, let's look at their team. This is West Coast and the Crows team, the last time they played. Because a lot can change in that, can't it?
Yes.
Out of the Crows team that won by 8 goals round 24 last year, have a listen to these names. Josh Worrell.
Out.
Riley Thilthorpe.
Out.
Isaac Rankin.
Out.
Luke Pedler.
Out.
Ned McHenry.
Out.
And Wayne Miller.
Out.
Were all walk-up starts. A couple of them are absolute stars. Now, they're out. Now, there's a bit of class there. I mean, I love Miller off half-back. Isaac Rankin, probably the Crows' best player. Josh Worrell's been outstanding. Haven't seen Thilthorpe all year. But they're massive outs. The ins for West Coast are more... They've got now players like Yo that didn't play that game. They've got players like Darling that didn't play that game. The other bloke that's kicked 29 goals. Now they've got the fella that's played 9 games. He's 19 years of age, and they're saying he's a generational player. So they're better and we're worse. Would you agree with that?
Well,
on paper.
On paper, they've improved their lineup. Yes. and fitness and health is a lot better.
It is a lot better. It is a lot better. So consistency of performance in this game on Sunday is critical. Here's Matty Nix.
The frustration's in our consistency, where it might just be a short lapse, and this year's shown that with the games and teams being so even, you've got to take those wins when the opportunity's there, and we haven't quite been able to do that this year. A draw with Brizzy and then losing by a kick to Collingwood. We're able to get some key moments done in those two. We sit in a very different spot at this point in time. So we remain confident as a group because we're able to look at the detail and say, hey, we're right there, but we still need to be better.
So Crows in this week, we've gone through him. James Borlase hasn't played for a month. Chris Burgess, and he's only played 8 games. Chris Burgess, well, God bless him, but he's not Phil Thorpe, is what I'm saying. Harry Schomburg's first game for the year. I think he's going to be an absolute jet, this lad. Isaac Rankin's out. Class is playing. We know Sam Berry is back in. So clearly there's no new blood. There's no debutants. There's no Dowling. Matty Nix still believes this team can make finals. Have a listen.
We still feel confident about the footy we're playing. We also know the competition's so even this year that things can change pretty quickly. So we're confident we keep playing the way we are, that we'll get the results we need to get, and then when the time comes, we'll either have got it right or we won't have an opportunity in the postseason. But last year we were knocking on the door. We still believe we can get there this year.
So they win Sunday. They've got Hawthorn next week at the MCG, which you'd hope they'd get the job done there. Then they've got Sydney back here. For whatever reason, doesn't matter where these two are on the ladder, Crows play well against Sydney. They can go into that bye at round 14, 6.5 wins, 6.5 losses. And I know I always put the horse before the cart and I get all those sort of things wrong and live in the moment. I don't have to live in the moment. I can live in my moment. And my moment is, their season is still alive, and I back Nixie in with what he's saying. Just get the job done on Saturday, and I'm confident they can.
More of your calls on that after the news. 8223 0000. We are live at the Elizabeth Tavern for Footy Friday. Timmy, we have another raffle ticket. Someone's going to win.
Okay, yellow ticket. D04. Yellow ticket. D04.
We'll find the winner during the break.
Redraw!
So calls a redraw, as there should be. Treaders next.
Rowey and Timmy G on the FIVEAA Sports Show.
It's end of financial year at Adelaide Hills Nissan with big savings. Receive incredible 1.9% finance offers on select models, plus 2 years free servicing on 2023 models. Offer won't last. For T's and C's, go to adelaidehillsnissan.com.au/specials. LMVD 325189.
Every month, more than 1,600 people in Australia are pushed into homelessness. The lack of affordable housing and escalating cost of living means people like Luke, who are working, and others can't keep a roof over their heads. As always, Vinnie's is there to provide a hand up with emergency food hampers, crisis accommodation and more. We need your urgent help so vulnerable people feel safe and warm this winter. Call 13 18 12 or visit vinnies.org.au to donate today.
Ham made from Australian pork has to meet Australia's strict quality controls and standards. And while that means us farmers have to jump through hoops, I reckon the taste's worth it. So for true Australian quality ham, just pick a pack with a pink pork logo.
Stay safe and secure with Care Alert's GPS personal alarm. If an emergency happens, just press the SOS button to call for help. And at the same time, it will send your exact location via SMS to your emergency contacts. The Care Alert also has fall detection, and you can even speak through your pendant. All for just $379 with free programming and delivery included. Contact Care Alert on 1300 75 85 95 or visit carealert.com.au.
The news and information that matters. This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Down to 8 tonight, sunny and 21 tomorrow. With the 5 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher.
Experience the 2024 new-gen Mitsubishi Triton with 10 years warranty and servicing. Test drive at Agostino Mitsubishi.
The Salisbury OTR has a new claim to fame. They sold the $150 million Powerball ticket. A Northern Suburbs man bought the winning ticket there while filling up the tank. Area manager Matt Di Virgilio says it's a real boost to have OTR playing a role in the big win.
Usually with these sort of Powerball winners, oftentimes it goes to so many interstate winners. So to have a South Australian winner, let alone a winner who has purchased a ticket from our OTR Salisbury drive-through store, is fantastic for the community as well.
The new multimillionaire plans to buy a house, travel the world and help out his family and friends, but is also planning to continue working because he loves his job. A St Agnes family has been targeted in a Molotov cocktail attack. A neighbour in Francis Street put out the flames just before midnight and no damage was caused. Trina Holst and her 4 children were asleep at the time. She's told Seven it was frightening.
I was in that room there and the windows, the wall, everything just shook.
A car was heard speeding away. She says it's the 3rd time this year they've been targeted and she thinks she knows who's responsible. The federal government says it's ready to assist in relief and recovery efforts after a major landslide in a remote part of Papua New Guinea. It's feared at least 100 people may have been killed. In a statement on social media, Foreign Minister Penny Wong says the loss of life is devastating. The government is being urged to consider setting up a publicly owned bank to make sure all Australians have access to financial services. More from Zach De Silva.
An inquiry into regional bank closures has handed down its final report, finding more than 2,000 local branches have shut down over the last 6 years. The Parliamentary Committee is making 8 recommendations to tackle the issue. It wants new rules forcing banks to consult with local communities before closing a branch. It's also urging the federal government to consider creating a publicly owned bank, which could be linked with Australia Post. Labor is welcoming some recommendations, but warns others could have unintended consequences.
The federal opposition says vapes should be legalised and taxed, arguing the extra revenue could be used to fund prevention programs. The government is planning to ban the import, manufacture and possession of the nicotine product, but it could have issues getting the measure through Parliament, with the Greens and Coalition raising concerns. Nationals leader David Littleproud says a prohibition model isn't the right approach.
This is where we've got to be pragmatic as a society and understand what history has shown us. So why wouldn't we reinvest some of that excise into helping those young Australians that are addicted to it and to get them off it in a prescribed way?
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Adelaide's biggest trading card store celebrates 30 years in business. Get into Sports Card World now. Regent Arcade.
Round 11 in the AFL heads to the west tonight. The Magpies say stopping Fremantle's star-studded midfield from firing will be crucial to them winning the game in Perth. Sean Darcy returns for the Dockers. The Pies have made 5 changes, including 2 rookies, Ed Allen and Will Parker. Well, the Crows have finalised their team for Sunday's game against West Coast at Adelaide Oval. Harry Schonberg headlines 4 inclusions. It'll be his first match since rupturing his Achilles tendon in round 24 last year. Port are looking for another win this weekend, this time against North Melbourne in Tasmania. Coach Ken Hinkley says Ollie Wines has ticked all the boxes after heart palpitations last Sunday.
He takes a fair bit of comfort out of the fact that it hasn't happened very often, but it has happened. Now, what you expect, what we would have done this week is he would have all the right checks and all the proper checks done by all the specialists, and that's all been ticked off, and I can guarantee that's all been ticked off, and Ollie's very happy with how he sits right now.
And it's going to be a big weekend in Monaco. It's the 70th edition of their Formula One Grand Prix. Now checking 5AA traffic.
A Glandore burst water main still getting fixed on South Road near Addison Road, but they're wrapping that up, so delays have become less, but keep it in mind if you're heading that way. Crash at Salisbury, East McIntyre Road near Bridge Road. Another collision at Blair Athol, Main North Road near Marmion Avenue. Slow right now, Brighton Road, Brighton, with a camera, Eastern Parade at Gilman. Impress in the MG ZST with a sporty exterior and a tech advanced interior. It's the more you've been looking for, from just $25,490 at your MG dealer. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Down to 8 tonight, sunny and 21 for your Saturday. Sunday, sunny and 22. Monday, also 22. Right now, it's 17 degrees. Now let's check what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Brenton Raglas. Tonight, an Adelaide man takes out the $150 million Powerball win. The SA man and his critically injured wife trying to get home after the Singapore Airlines turbulence emergency. The new diabetes drug boasting better results than Ozempic. And AFL clubs warn they could face class action over historic racism claims. 9 News. Your news, nightly at 6 on 9 and on 9 Now.
We open our doors to people we trust and care about. And for over 85 years,
South Australians have been opening their doors to Rest Haven. In turn, we've been opening doors to an easier, better life at home. From personal care to help with the shopping and social outings, you'll welcome the care that Rest Haven brings.
If you've seen Aldi's low prices, you may have thought they're having a sale, but they're not. And here's how you can tell. If there was a sale, there'd be a horn going, wee, 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 and I'd be shouting, it's a celebration, as starbursts flash and confetti explodes. But there's no sale. Just low prices every day at Aldi on everything from fancy stuff like Liqueur neck firming cream to bread, milk and angle grinders. Aldi, good different.
Ugh, that's enough to send shudders down anyone's spine. Are you hearing critters rustling around in your roof? Well, it might alarm you to know that 8% of household fires are started by rodents gnawing through electrical cables in the roof and walls. Not to mention the spread of disease and bacteria they can cause. But there's a simple solution. Book a rodent treatment with SA's leading pest control specialists. Your team from Murray's.
No worries with the team from Murray's.
Go to murraypestcontrol.com.au.
In Adelaide and across South Australia, this is 5AA. Always Adelaide.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Welcome back. It's our Rusden Wines Footy Friday live at the Elizabeth Tavern, where you can enjoy knockoffs with happy hour 4 o'clock till 7 o'clock, Monday to Friday. How good is that? With selected pints and base spirits at just $6.
Yummy, yummy.
That's like a time warp. That's amazing. Drink responsibly. Still to come on the show, Simon Hill from Channel 10 is going to join us. We've got Sue Dewing from the Sturt Footy Club. Terry McAuliffe to send us into the weekend with some tips. We've got a bottle of Rusden Black Gut still to give away to our best caller tonight. And there's lots of calls to get to. And another $100 Elizabeth Tavern voucher still to give away. Right now, though, it's time to bring in Treaders.
Warren Treadray, thanks to Ignition for Men. For top brand tailored fitted men's suits and casual wear, see Ignition for Men, 54 Paynham Road, Stepney.
Yes, and here we are with Warren Treadray. Yes, he needs to be able to talk to us. That's right. Beautifully done.
Wow. Sorry, boys. I was just pressing some buttons.
Oh, don't touch the...
Oh, hang on.
Yeah, you're doing it again. Gee whiz.
One job.
One job.
Just leave off of
Have you been to Ignition for Men? You're wearing a green...
Mate.
You have?
Sort of like Kermit the Frog Velvet.
I was there an hour and a half ago.
Oh, good on you. I forgot
You should see my suit coming.
Oh, yeah?
The lining on it is to die for.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll be embarrassed to actually wear it.
Is it like hot air?
No, not embarrassed bad, Rowey.
No?
Embarrassed, it's like you don't want to damage it. It's too good.
I get what you're saying.
And I'm not just talking the fabric and the quality and the fit's amazing. Just had to get the, what do you call the leg length just taken up a bit.
Like me.
No, you need a stool to stand on and a leg length, right?
Yeah, you hairy high pants.
But the surprise that I may be seeing, and our listeners will be able to see if you check our socials when we do this great unveiling, and he said he's waiting for you.
I was meant to go there today.
Well, what's meant to? I was there today.
Well, I had to fit a few
When I spoke to
windscreens,
Timmy
mate.
before talking about what we're going to talk about tonight, you were still rattling on the background. You could have got in there when I went in
That's true. Busy man, mate.
You?
Yeah.
Please.
Oh, stop it.
Well, that
now, I asked Josh Carr if behind closed doors the coaches say, look, fellas, North are awful. They're 0 and 10. Man for man, shoulder for shoulder, they shouldn't hold a candle to you. Now, that's called telling the truth.
Who coached you?
I had Barmy. Barmy would have 100% done that. Cornsey was a little bit the same.
What he'd say, the opposition are...
Useless.
I'll be asking Graham on Monday.
Okay, Tim.
I won't put
You
Stud
had Russ,
there.
the great Russ, and
Jack.
the great Jack.
Steve Williams.
Steve, would any of them said that?
No.
That's disrespecting the opposition.
Yeah.
No, this is behind closed doors.
Yeah, but you don't do that because that creates the soft.
No, but you're telling the
soft
truth.
Shell.
Well, hang on a sec. No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
You guys are near the top. They are stone motherless bottom.
Yeah, what happened
Tell
last
the
week?
truth.
What happened last week?
Well, I don't know. You didn't come for 3 quarters, but you did for 1.
Yeah. So then the point is, if you want to be a team that's going to be a contender, right? You don't want to give
So you treat every team like a premiers.
I think you got to treat you got to understand that anyone can beat anyone on any given day.
Well, that is true. I agree with
How
that.
would Melbourne be feeling that West Coast touched them up last week?
Yeah, well, it was at home, and they have got Harley Reid.
Yeah, I know, but and they've got Clayton Oliver and Christian Petrarca and Max Gorn and Jake Lever and Stephen May.
Now, Josh Carr responded with exactly the way I would.
I understand.
I'm just asking the question.
Well, I understand your question, and you go, if it's pound for pound, experience and talent, you'd think Port would be a fair way in front.
The average losing margin is 10 goals.
And I get that. But then the other side is Port sit fourth. If they lose last week, which they didn't, they'd be ninth.
Yeah. And that's the danger of a game like this, isn't it? That you just rock up into it mentally not prepared.
Yeah.
And I think it's an area that we need to improve on.
Absolutely.
This is actually a good test for Port.
The knock on Port for the last 4 or 5 years has not been against the contenders at times. If they're favourites, they've struggled or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like, hang on, it's the ones that you're expected to win and haven't been able to get the job done. And I thought last week, for the first time I'd sat in the crowd in a long time going, hang on, fundamentally, that wasn't about talent. That was probably more about execution and attitude. Because I think clearance is 15-6, inside 50s 14-4, something, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
That's a pantsing.
Yeah.
So the reality is the fundamentals that you build your game on has to be win the footy, be first to the footy and execute. Well, we weren't first to the footy. We didn't win the footy enough. And when we did, we're under the pump and we didn't execute. So for me, it measures back to that. Is Hobart looking and forecast to be as good a day possible this time of year? 13 degrees, maybe a bit of cloud, sunshine? Yes.
Yeah.
There's no excuses. There's still 4 points on the line. And I liken it this way. And I don't mean this to be disrespectful, Rowey and Timmy. It's professional hit job. You fly in, you prepare, you perform, you take 4 points, you get back, recover, then you plan for the next job, which is Thursday night against the Blues.
Okay, Treaders, I want to play a little grab from our interview with Caroline Wilson last night. I was taken aback a bit, to tell you the truth, by the content, and it just surprised me a little bit. I want to see if it surprises you.
I think that he knows if Port don't make the 8, he's probably gone this year. He's obviously got tougher resistance now and perhaps not quite the support he had with, some of the people who've joined the board in the most recent time.
That's you.
It floored us.
Well, we were like...
It absolutely
floored us. I made the comment,
yesterday.
I said to Caro, look, if they were ever going to remove Ken, they could have done it last year.
But hang on.
They didn't. They appointed him for 2 years. And I'm not going to pull the trigger. And I said we're 7-3.
Well, we're in the middle of the season. I'm one of 10 board members.
Yeah.
Why didn't you just name me?
Yeah.
Let's live in the real world, Caro. Why don't you name me? If you think I'm creating issues for Ken to sack Ken, I'm there to do my job, to sit on a footy committee when we've got a meeting in another week or two to talk about where we sit in the big picture and all the things that are around football. I'm not involved in the football department. My job is, one, to work for FIVEAA, right, to do some other stuff that I'm starting to do, and then also to do my footy role, which is unpaid. So for me to say not as much support, I've had meetings with Ken. I think I've told you guys, I'm fully supportive where the club goes. But at some stage in my time, whether it's within this 3-year period, whether I go on and get elected in that, I have to do what's best for the football club. So the reality is, in the top 4.
But I wouldn't have thought that was an agenda item at this moment in time. Is that fair?
Well,
it's not an agenda item.
No.
Exactly.
It's about how do we get better. Like discussion last week is, from the outside, what do you see? And I'm not a coach, but I was asked a question outside as someone who's inside the club bubble but not inside the footy department. What would you say we could do better? And I gave similar commentary like I have with you guys. Movement, forwards, positioning, some of the ideas I see. And clearly there was a change in game style. And my understanding is the coaches met post that showdown to work out what we can do better. But that actually...
It floored me.
To be honest, that baffles me.
It floored me, but here's the thing. If it wasn't for a DBJ, brilliant kick with whatever seconds on the clock, and you lose, maybe that is the agenda item this week.
Oh, no, it's not.
I wouldn't have thought, no.
I think that... No, I'm just saying, I think that's where Caro was going.
I think she was going by the response on the boundary line.
You were a DBJ saving goal on the siren, basically, away from... This week being a totally different week for Port.
Gotta say,
but that can happen in every week.
But I know, I'm just saying.
Like,
that's what I read into it.
Look at the last
Caro
3
said
weeks.
it, not us.
My son Nate loves surfing, right?
Yep.
The last 3 weeks for a Port fan have been like surfing, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Because Showdown, getting cleaned out. Geelong, wow.
Yep.
Hawthorn, looking like a clean out, and they win.
Yeah.
That is the roller coaster of footy. And as someone for my role, when I sit external to the footy department, as a board member, is you've got to sit a helicopter view on what that actually looks like and the way you're playing. Right now, team's top 4. I'm not thinking of anything that she's floated. I'm thinking, hey, Sydney for me is clear. As a commentator, Sydney's the clear front runner right now. Is that fair?
How good are they? How good are they?
Who's the next best?
Well, I think you can throw a blanket over 5 clubs.
That's our point. That's my point.
They're eating each other alive at the moment.
The reality is, this has got more twists and turns. And
of course
for Port fans, whether you're an absolute blind believer that your club does everything right, whether you're someone who's an agitator, someone who's frustrated, someone who floats between all of them, you've got to get behind the team right now and give it every bit to get them over the line.
Yeah. Hey, Treaders, during the week we heard Joel Selwood say that Harley Reid will be the next $2 million player. Now, a lot of people came in, and people with a greater mindset on list management than I, and they said that's 20 years away, a $2 million player. You like your numbers. You follow that sort of thing, and it's almost
algorithm,
fantasy footy type style.
Well,
can any club in the next, say, 5 years afford a $2 million player, or is that just way off the scope?
You can afford it.
You have to.
But you've got to manage
Sacrifice.
it. Okay,
You
I
have to
think the
sacrifice
most you
everybody
could
else.
carry a player is 10% of the cap. What's the cap? 14 half?
Yeah.
14 half.
1.4, 1.5.
So that's the
and for
ceiling.
every one of those you got, you're robbing the others.
Yeah.
And like any premiership team, you've got to take less to keep them together.
And that's been happening for a long time,
Forever.
hasn't it?
Yeah, because everyone goes, oh, he's been underpaid. Why? Because he wants to win a flag, and you realise you want to keep the best team on the park, you've got to give a bit up. And to be honest, there's probably only one player that stands alone as actually cashing in absolutely at this highest point and winning flags, and that was Dustin Martin. But everyone was prepared to take less to keep him.
But you know what? I don't mind paying the absolute superstars that. What gets my goat up, there are players that I think are very, very ordinary, earning 600,000 and 700,000.
Well, that's because...
And I think, oh my God.
Yeah, but Rowey, that 600 or 700 was the 400 or 500 from 3 years ago.
Yeah, I know, but I've got to get my head around that.
Well, that's why it's gone. And you know what? Don't be surprised someone tables a 10-year, $2 million deal for someone.
Yeah.
But that risk comes with, you're a business owner. You
I
don't put
wouldn't
all
do
your
it.
eggs in one basket.
I'm not doing that.
Treaders is here for Ignition for Men. Very shortly, we're going to ask you about the umpires. Do they need more accountability? Because we've got lots of calls on that. Get your calls in for Treaders, 8223 0000 for a Rusden Black Gut Shiraz. For the top brand Taylor Fit men's suits and casual wear, see Ignition for Men, 54 Paynham Road, Stepney. Here's your roads.
Afternoon at Bedford Park, a breakdown, Main South Road in the Southern Expressway affecting Citybound. Another breakdown at Beulah Park, Port Rush Road near the Parade, and a crash at Parafield Gardens, Martins Road near Shepherdson Road. Glandore, residual delays from earlier burst water main on South Road near the tram overpass. Shouldn't be too bad, simply keep it in mind. And got a camera trim operated Findon. The Harvey Norman furniture and bedding floor stock clearance is on. A huge range of lounges, dining, mattresses, bedroom furniture and more. Price to clear. Limited time now at Harvey Norman. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. For the very latest in local footy, tune in to the 5AA Sandful Show each Monday from 6:30 p.m. It's tradition, it's excitement, and it's beats, eats, and footy fun with your mates. Sandful, nothing beats it.
Our bowel screening test is simple, private, and free. Your test will be posted to you every 2 years once you turn 50, so make sure to keep an eye out for it. If found early, 90% of bowel cancers can be treated successfully. Doing a screening test every 2 years can help you stay strong and healthy for yourself and your family. For more information, have a yarn with your health professional or visit www.indigenousbowelscreen.com.au.
It's all about the numbers in the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery. 3 lucky families will win 7 nights in London, 7 nights in Paris, and 7 nights in Rome. Or choose $100,000 in cash just for getting in early. But hurry, the early bird deadline is next week. Plus, your tickets stay in more than 11,000 draws, including 2 grand prize homes. Life-changing prizes, life-changing impact. Homelottery.com.au. Licence M14 45448.
We've all got our favourites in life, and I don't think that we probably hide this too much, Rowey. There's no doubt the trip up to the Barossa with the ancient soils, the old vines, and the first-class wines, it's got to be a Rusden's.
We've said it for years, a must-stop is our mates at Rusden Wines. I love the Black Guts, you like the Ripper Creek, you like the Boundaries. Get a sand scrub. I mean, honestly, the Christian, the Whites, the Reds, they've got a beautiful port as well. They're just brilliant. The family boasts 7 generations of grape growing, and they've got it down pat, haven't they?
Absolutely.
The patch of dirt
brilliant.
is everything,
Yes.
and they've got the best winemaker in Australia, Christian Canute.
Yep.
It tells me not to say that. But he is.
Yeah, and the climate's ideal so they can produce the quality wines year in, year out. So trust me, you won't be disappointed. Do yourself a favour and take a visit to the cellar door in the Barossa and make your next red a Rusden's. Check out rusdenwines.com.au.
Trumpets, please. The end of financial year sale is heating up at Edwardstown Mazda, and guess what? It's about to get even hotter. With our lowest ever drive-away offers, huge Mazda factory bonuses, an extra $2,000 trade-in bonus, and $1,000 in Edwardstown Mazda credit to spend however you'd like. Act now. Sale must end June 30.
It's gotta be
Edwardstown Mazda, the #1 destination for Mazda in SA.
Happy birthday to you. 1, 2, 3.
There's a good reason so many people celebrate their birthday at the Dutch Pantry Cafe. A whole menu of authentic Dutch food for brekkie, brunch or lunch. Think of classics like croquettes, mini Dutch pancakes and Dutch pea soup, along with chip cones and Biscoff milkshakes. However old you're turning, celebrate at the Dutch Pantry Cafe. OG Road, Clemzig, open 7 days. Look for the Big Windmill.
At Coles, there's great value hands down across fruit and veg this week. Like delicious 100% Australian Hass avocados, just $1.30 each. Get great value hands down at Coles. Offer ends Tuesday.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Welcome back. We are live at the Elizabeth Tavern for tonight's show. Sample Live and Footy Friday, thanks to Rusden Wines. Warren Tredreau's here for Ignition for Men. You're taking your calls, 8223 0000 if you want that Black Gut Shiraz.
Yeah, let's go to Para Hills. Hello, Pete. Here's Treaders.
Good evening, guys, and I hope you're enjoying it up north. It's a good area, buddies. I'd just like to ask Treaders about Travis Boak being the super sub tomorrow to allow him to swap with Connor Rosie's at 3/4 time, which will suit both players for next Thursday.
Ooh.
So what's that? I didn't quite hear that.
So Boakie's the sub.
Yeah,
and
he
then
is.
Connor Rosie.
He's suggesting that Boakie be the
Yeah,
sub.
and then when Connor Rosie needs a rest in preparation for next week because of his workload,
Get half of the game each.
Yeah, well, I think I floated 12 a week ago, not 12 months. That's a long time ago. A week ago, that maybe Port would look at it. I don't, but it proves that I'm not involved in selection because I just threw that idea to go, hey, how do you get yourself back up for a 6-day break? Actually, 5-day break, isn't it? Because they play Saturday back into. Is it next Friday?
Thursday.
It is Thursday. Yeah, so it's 5-day break. So I think all those are options alive. But I looked at Boakie's game last week, and the only reason I'd probably lean against that, I thought he was very good early. He was one of our best players. We didn't have many great ones that were clean and winning the footy, and I thought he was good. But I did get concerned when he went down with that cleaned up in the middle. I just thought, not ribs again, but he was okay. I spoke to him after the game.
Let's go to Semaphore Park. G'day, Ray.
G'day, how you going? Yeah, young
All right, mate.
Timmy. All right, good. These umpires, I think we could go back to 3. I think 4 is too many because they still miss too much. And I think they've got to learn that it's games for all Australian sides, not just Victorian sides. They keep favouring the Victorians all the time, especially Collingwood.
Back to 3.
Well, I don't think 4. For me, from the outside, watching games of footy, calling games of footy, watching TV last night, I don't think it's added anything better.
just go back to 3. Who's her name? Laura Kane. Kane.
Yeah,
Just
Laura
do
Kane.
it. Just do it. Just do it.
And I think
That
that's
is
a real.
That is the easiest decision that AFL
And the other
can
one
make.
too. What value, from my perspective, what value does a sub give us?
No. We got rid of it back in 2011. It's come back again.
Yeah,
got a new life.
And that was brought in because of COVID, tighter game plans,
concussion.
head concussions, medical concussion, and the paranoia of players only playing every 5 games in the COVID bubble. What's going to be the strain on hamstrings and all that? Well, why don't we just have a flat bench of 4? We don't need 5.
No, I
we don't
agree.
need to give away games.
No.
And then you go, oh yeah, I played 50 games, I played 20 of the sub. But it distorts your average stats.
The coaches and the AFLPA pushed that.
Well, they did, because the coaches in COVID were worried about those quick turnarounds and injuries. So
that's fair enough, but not now.
But I just don't think. No, I agree. I just don't think it adds anything to the game.
No,
you still, because everyone goes, "Oh, we lost our sub" as an excuse. You still got 4 fit players.
Yeah, let's go to Graham. Hey, Graham, are you a interpreter of umpiring?
I'm actually a history of umpiring. About over 200 games of senior football back in the 80s.
Well, you definitely are then, Graham. Well done.
I am, and I've also got a medical background, so I'm going to talk on football interpretations of the laws of the game. And basically it is, my biggest contention is when a player is on the ground, you see players jumping into the neck and head, and there should be in the back or too high paid. In that case, players will get hurt there. But secondly, the tackles, the rule states quite clearly that a person, once tackled, must make an attempt to either handball it or kick it. If they do neither, and the umpire sees that they're able to dispose of that ball, immediately they should lose possession of the football and the free kick. I believe that with the tackles, any tackle to the ground leaves the player vulnerable, and I see a huge amount of head clashes onto the turf. And of course, we're talking about concussions, and concussions can be quite serious. Give an example of a player that I had to look after at one of the top league football clubs, was that he had just a normal tackle into the ground. He couldn't work for 9 months, and he couldn't play for the rest of his time, and he was only a 17-year-old.
That is so sad to hear those sort of stories.
Thanks for the insight, Graham.
I'll get back to the umpiring. We don't want to sound like we're umpiring bashing. It was on the back of the Western Bulldogs Sydney game. There was 2 howler of a decision.
That 50 metre wasn't there.
Yeah, no, but
the tackle wasn't high, and the umpire got it wrong.
But I've said this, and Timmy will back me up, for probably years. We need 3 umpires, and those 3 umpires work for the whole season as a team. And when you work as a team, you get to know each other's
strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, we had a unique homestyle food text backing that up in other competitions.
The consistency is all you're after. I hate it when there's a non-free kick for holding the ball at my forward line. It goes all the way down the other end. The other umpire, the 4th one, pays one out of zone that was nearly identical. So you need consistency.
Or you go and question the umpire that made the decision, and he's conveniently changed to go the other end of the ground, you can't question him.
Let's go to Ferris at Parafield Gardens. G'day, Ferris.
G'day, boys. Lovely listening to you again. I reckon I've got an idea with the umpires. We've got 2 during the game now, 4 of them, sorry. We take 2 of them out of the game, and we put them up on the watching the TV with the goal umpires when they review the goal scores. So we take 2 out, 2 stay and they umpire the game, and they've got their earpieces. If the decision they make, the guys watching the game on the TV, they see something, they whisper in their ear and say, this is not right, and blow the whistle or whatever.
Rightio. Some more
stoppages.
Yeah, more goal umpiring.
And this is the bit too, and then we talk about, the previous caller said about head-high hits and bumps and that to ground. You can't pick a bloke up and tackle anymore, so now we're seeing a lot of drag. What are we seeing? Aaron Norton do an ankle, do a knee.
Yeah, I saw that. That was a
Is
horrible
it an ACL, do we know?
No, it's not. It's a medial.
Okay, so let's hope he's okay. Hey, thanks for coming in, Treaders. Well done. Ignition for men, they are magnificent. Nothing feels or looks as good as a suit that is tailored to fit you perfect. Now, if comfort and style is important to you, call Ignition for Men. They are Adelaide's home of Armani, Canali, Xenia, all the brilliant brands. 54 Paynham Road, Stepney brings us Warren Treadray.
Excellent work. We're going to get to the headlines. Make your way down to the Elizabeth Tavern if you haven't already for your knockoff, because that's we are broadcasting live here tonight. Simon Hill to join us next.
The 5AA Sports Show. Rowey and Timmy G.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good evening, Mel Usher with the latest news headlines. A northern suburbs man is still trying to get his head around his $150 million Powerball win. 2 women, aged 19 and 23, are in hospital after their car slammed into a tree at Torrens Park. It's feared at least 100 people have been buried and killed in a major landslide in Papua New Guinea. And in sport, Ed Allen will play his first AFL game for Collingwood tonight when the Magpies take on Fremantle in Perth. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Afternoon at Bedford Park, a breakdown on Main South Road in the Southern Expressway affecting city bound. Beulah Park, a breakdown there too, Port Rice Road near the Parade, and a crash at Parafield Gardens, Martins Road near Shepherdson Road. Glendore, residual delays from that earlier burst, Water Main South Road near the tram overpass. No great delays, but keep it in mind and look out for a camera, Old Port Wakefield Road of Virginia. The King Living mid-year sale ends soon. Save up to 50% on selected Australian Design Award-winning furniture. Sale ends soon. Visit the King Living Keswick showroom today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
5AA weather down to 8 tonight, sunny and 21 tomorrow. Right now it's 16. We'll have more news at 6 and as it happens on 5AA.
David Penberthy and Will Goodies. 5AA Breakfast.
The debt bomb that so many Adelaide councils are sitting on. The situation is looking pretty grim down at the Bay as well. Today's guest, Ken Daly, he's had a really close look at the financial documents.
Currently the debt with the council is $30 million. With another $30 million borrowing, that takes the debt to $60 million.
Adelaide's leading breakfast show.
That's $3,000 per property.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Nothing beats driving the brand new Gen 2024 Mitsubishi Triton. Actually, scratch that. Nothing beats driving away in your very own. Actually, even better, driving away in your very own brand new Gen 2024 Mitsubishi Triton from Agostino Mitsubishi. Knowing it comes with a 10-year warranty and 10-year cap price servicing, test drive the brand new Gen 2024 Mitsubishi Triton today at Agostino Mitsubishi Nailsworth or Mawson Lakes. Exclusions and conditions including Mitsubishi servicing apply.
The passing of someone close places unique stress on family and friends. At this time, Farrell and O'Neill Funerals are here to provide reassurance and peace of mind. Farrell and O'Neill offer creative guidance and advice to tailor a service that best honours your loved one. Whether a large gathering or a small, intimate service, Farrell and O'Neill share their generations of experience in tailoring a unique and meaningful farewell. Proudly SA family-owned and operated, because it's personal.
When you think about it, quality household appliances make our lives so much easier. And at Adelaide Appliance Gallery, even choosing an appliance is easy. Celebrate 125 years of quality with Miele at Adelaide Appliance Gallery. With the best advice, the best appliances, and the best deals on Miele. Get 10% off, plus a 5-year warranty on Miele built-in cooking, refrigeration, dishwashing, and laundry appliances. Limited time only. Make your life easier with Miele and Adelaide Appliance Gallery, Payneham Road, St Peters.
If the bank's declined your business loan, no worries. Universal Finance make business loans easy. No financials required. Unsecured business loans and business overdrafts. Universal Finance can help your business now. For lightning fast settlement, sometimes in just a matter of hours. See Universal Finance in Kent Town today. Or search Universal Finance right now. This is general advice only, and you should consider the terms and conditions before determining whether this advice is suitable for your situation.
Series Music is making history with Adelaide's biggest ever music sale. Well over $1 million worth of gear has been priced to clear. Get up to 60% off drums, up to 30% off electric guitars, bass guitars, amps and accessories, with discounts on keyboards, brass and woodwind PA systems and more. Series Music is so serious about clearing the entire store, with over $1 million worth of gear priced to clear. In-store only right now. This is a once-only opportunity. Series Music, 41 McGill Road, Stepney.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
It's 25 minutes to 6. We are live at the Elizabeth Tavern for our Sample Live show. We're going to chat to Sue Dewing very shortly from the Sturt Footy Club. We'll talk about Centrals and Norwood, which have a big game out here at Elizabeth this weekend, which we're looking forward to. If you've got time, come out. We've got tickets, we've got some meals and some drinks still to give away. And we're loving your calls tonight, 8223 0000. And 5AA's Best of SA is about celebrating and profiling some of the great brands in our state. It's not far away. Today, we are celebrating Aussie Fast Transport Solutions. So for your chance to win a $200 Aussie Fast voucher and 2 tickets to our Best of SA dinner, which is coming up Friday the 14th of June at Adelaide Oval, give us a call now, 8223 0055. Aussie Fast Transport Solutions, interstate freight and distribution, warehousing and local Adelaide couriers. Call Aussie Fast at 13 13 64.
Looking forward to this, Timmy, although the Reds aren't there. A-League Grand Final Saturday night. Premiers Central Coast Mariners take on Melbourne Victory. It is at Gosford, 7:15 kickoff. It is live on 10 footy commentator, our mate. He is the voice of Australian football. Simon Hill, welcome.
How are you guys? You all right?
Oh, mate, great.
Excellent.
But before we get to that, Man City, your team, the Cheats, they win another championship.
Yep.
They're fourth in a row in the Premier League.
First team in history to do 4 in a row.
Wow. Gee, it's amazing what money can do, Simon.
Well, that's what modern sport's all about.
No,
right?
I know.
You know that. Obviously, there are charges that are still to be answered, which is the big question mark against it. But, every team spends a lot of money in the Premier League. City have spent a lot. The starting 11 on the final day of the season was worth $398 million in terms of transfers. But here's the thing. Arsenal's on the same day was worth $396 million.
There you go.
So there's not a huge amount of difference.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens with the charges, but certainly on the field, City are without peer at the moment. 4 Premier League titles in a row, and of course we've got the Cup final tomorrow against Manchester United, which is live on Paramount Plus as well. And if they win that, then they've won back-to-back doubles.
How good's that?
That's at Wembley. That's tomorrow night,
Yeah,
live as
that's
well.
on.
Gee, how good's that, Simon? That
Yeah,
derby.
we
How
got a
many
great
times have
night
they
of
played in a final, these two?
Last year.
Yeah,
There you go.
Finals last year.
Oh, well, bugger me.
51-1-2-1.
Yeah.
Keep up, Rowey. Come on,
Sorry,
mate.
buddy.
All righty. Simon, I'll take it to the local league so we can get back
let's
on
do it.
board. Hey, firstly, the grand final itself should be an absolute beauty, but a couple of different stories, aren't they? Firstly, I think the Central Coast, what a story that is. They're going for a treble. They've won an Asia Cup. And they're not the biggest club in the world, are they? And then Victory, well, this is like pure redemption from where they were 12 months ago.
Yeah, there's some great storylines around this grand final. Obviously, the Mariners, who I think by most people's definition are, the smallest club in the A-League, certainly in terms of catchment area, probably in terms of budget, at least at the start of this season, are on the verge of this amazing treble. They'll be the first team to ever win 3 trophies, 2 domestic, 1 international. They won the AFC Cup. They've already won the Premiership. So they're 1 game away from immortality, really. And they've earned $2.5 million for winning the AFC Cup. So given the way the A-League's finances are at the moment, they'll probably be the richest club in the A-League next year.
Exactly.
On the other side of the equation, Melbourne Victory, obviously season campaigners in grand finals, they'd probably go in as underdogs, not by much, but, don't rule out a Melbourne Victory win tomorrow because they've got weapons that can hurt teams as well. They've played 3 very tight games this season, 2 draws, 1 win for the Mariners by the only goal. So, it should be a cracker and a full house at Industry Group Stadium. Every seat sold, so much so that they've actually put temporary seating behind the goal to go with the sauce bottles and the palm trees.
Fantastic. Hey, Tony Popovic, he's 0-4 in A-League grand finals, with the Wanderers and Perth Glory. But I reckon he's just about due to steal one, isn't he? And this could be it.
Well, Pop will certainly feel as though, he's waited long enough for a grand final win. He's been in 4. A couple of 3 with the Wanderers, 1 with Perth Glory. So this is his 5th, and he's lost all previous 4. So at some point, you'd imagine that curse has got to be broken. He'll never have a better time than tomorrow night, and I think he'll be quietly confident of what his team can do. They came through a very tough semi-final against Wellington Phoenix, which is one of the toughest places to go and win in the A-League. So they'll head up full of confidence. They've got Zinedine Mashash, one of their key attacking players, back from suspension as well. So it all points to a fascinating 90 minutes, possibly longer.
I just can't go for Melbourne victory, Simon. I think Central...
Well, of course, I wouldn't expect you to.
Yeah, well done. I think Central Coast will get it done. How do you think it'll pan out?
Yeah, as I said, I think the Mariners are slight favourites.
Yeah.
I don't think it's by much, but I think given the season they've had, the only question mark I'd maybe have against the Central Coast is just the last couple of weeks, because they've done so much travel. They looked a little bit leggy last week against Sydney. Now, they've had a week to recover, so maybe that sorts that out. But they had to defend in depth in the second leg against Sydney FC, who really threw everything by the kitchen sink at them last week, and they managed to hold on. So I think they need to lift back a level to where they've been for most of the season. If they can do that with 20,000 fans behind them, then they should be okay.
My Reds have done a bit of clipping as far as their list goes. You heard any good names coming in for us?
I haven't, to be honest, as yet. I mean, obviously, it's still very early in pre-season, and normally the incomings are preceded by the outgoings. You've got to make room in the squad and room in the cap, and of course, the clubs still don't know what the financial distribution is going to be. That's not been decided yet. So I think it'll be a few weeks yet before we start seeing signings coming in. But for the time being, Carl Beard is trimming his squad. Ben Warland's gone, Nick Ansell's gone, Ben Halloran's gone. Obviously, Nestori has gone to Bayern Munich, so there's a bit of cash there from that transfer. You'll see some movement over the next 3 or 4 weeks, I'm sure.
Simon, as always, thanks for your time. 10 footy, it's on 10 Play and Paramount, 10 Bold on 10. Can't wait, live and exclusive. Simon Hill, our guest.
Cheers, guys.
Awesome to have Simon Hill on the program. Live at the Elizabeth Tavern. If you've still got time, we're on till 6 o'clock tonight. 8223 0000 is the number as well. We're going to give away that $100 Elizabeth Tavern voucher very shortly.
Okay. How do you do that?
Calling,
is it a
raffle?
Part of it? Oh, just
we've also got raffle tickets here. We're going to give more away in a minute.
Giveaways. Just before we go to the callers, and we've got Sue Dewing from Sturt coming on shortly in Timmy's Tips. The Crows again, they take on West Coast 4:10 on Sunday. It'll be live on AA. Look forward to the call. The outs are Rankin, we know, and Himmelberg injured. Hamill and Ned McHenry for TJM have been dropped. Schomburg, Burgess, Berry and Ball-Ace in. So 4 out, 4 in. I think from what the bench looks like, it'll be out of Cook or Nankervis for the sub.
Okay, well done. Let's go to the phones. We've got Brett at Hillbank. G'day, Brett.
Yeah, g'day, boys. How you going? All right? You hear me all right?
All right. Excellent. Go for it.
Yeah, no dramas at all. Look, I just want to make a couple of points, and if you can just let me speak so I can make them. Look, I heard the other day when you interviewed someone from the Crows, I can't remember who it was, but he was talking about Nix and Nix being the next premiership coach, and they were going to give him all the resources that he needed, and get some trades in and whatever else, and give him exactly what he needed to take us to the next level. Right now, look, I've got one explanation as to what against that. Now, I look at when Robert Shaw was coaching the Crows, he had 2 years there from memory. Now, he promised a lot and gave and really delivered a little, okay? Now, Blight came in, he got rid of 2 McGarry medalists, he got rid of a club champion, he got rid of the ex-captain and the current captain. The full forward done his knee in that preliminary final. He got rid of him the next year before the grand final, and we won 2 flags with a bunch of kids and a few experienced players. Like now that was a coach. That's not someone that needs resources and needs draft picks. He did it because he's a good coach. Now that's what I'm saying about Nix. I don't believe he is a good coach.
Yeah, tough one to respond to. They call Blighty the Messiah. There's a reason, because he won back-to-back flags. As it turns out, that team he coached, I think 7 of them are Australian Football Hall of Famers. Some of them are the greatest the club's ever had. Don't need to go through them and name them, but that's the case. But you're right, he had to make brave decisions. He had to get his list right. That list build was done since 1991, and he bore the fruit of it. In 93, as we know, we made the prelim, but we didn't get through. So that team was always destined to do something great, and you get the right coach for the right time. I think that is a real key point, I think, is what you're saying there. Do I think Matty Nicks can win a flag at my club? As a fan, I hope so. As a football critic, I don't think so.
All right, now, just before we get to the break, we have a blitz to do.
Oh, hello.
We have that many raffle tickets here. There are people in this room at the Elizabeth Tavern who want to get themselves some West End merch and some sample tickets for the weekend.
Oh, look out.
They're restless, Timmy. Give them what they want.
Understandable. Gee whiz, I can only make 3 of you happy. It's a blue ticket, B04. Yes, come forward.
Oh,
come
Mother
forward.
Bear, come on.
If you can come down, we don't deliver. So you'll have to, thank you very much. We're not
AC Couriers.
Not Uber Eats. Blue ticket, B39.
B39A.
Blue ticket, B39.
All right.
Redraw. While you're sorting through that, a green ticket, C for cat, 01. Green, 01.
All right,
just come
another
up,
redraw.
Just
At least
come
we got
up
one.
anyway. We're not going to check.
At least we got one.
There they are. There we go.
There it is.
Good Port supporter at
We
last.
finally got there. We're having a good time here at the Elizabeth Tavern. You can too. 82230055. Do you want to win yourself a $100 voucher? Call in right now because we've got one in our hot little hand. We are giving away lots of great prizes tonight.
Get
we
on
have our
board.
Sample Round 7 preview coming up. Sue Dewing and Terry McAuliffe next as well. But first, let's check your traffic out there. For top brand tailor fitted men's and suits and casual wear, see Ignition for Men. They're at 54 Paynham Road, Stepney.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Built like a brick house. Tough as nails. That's Basic Trailers for you. This EOFIS, use code 5AA to drive away with Rego for just $1. Made with 100% Australian steel in Adelaide. Basic Trailers. Basically better.
You know what's become a huge deal at Mawson Lakes Mazda? Our end of financial year deals. Want to know a secret? We can give you amazing prices right now. Yep, Mawson Lakes Mazda is clearing new and demo stock at prices you'll normally get in June. And they're available for immediate delivery. Don't wait. Get in before the end of financial year rush. Mawson Lakes Mazda, just a short drive from the city.
Life's a journey. Sure, as you get older, you might slow down a little, but each step can bring you more of what you want. At ECH, we support you wherever you are and wherever you want to go. Whether you want more opportunities to make friends, more assistance around your home, help with your health, or the perfect home to downsize to. Get more out of life. Ask ECH about home care packages and retirement living today.
Our bowel screening test is simple, private and free. Your test will be posted to you every 2 years once you turn 50, so make sure to keep an eye out for it. If found early, 90% of bowel cancers can be treated successfully. Doing a screening test every 2 years can help you stay strong and healthy for yourself and your family. For more information, have a yarn with your health professional or visit www.indigenousbowelscreen.com.au.
The fresh food people at Woolworths are constantly improving their own brand food range to help Aussie families, because every dollar counts. From using premium ingredients to the care put into every product, Woolworths has created a great range of tasty, high-quality products with great value. Woolworths' own brand has a range to cover it all, from the kitchen know-it-alls to the kitchen novices. It's food made by the fresh food people.
Here at 5AA, we're all about supporting local. Louver House, the leaders in transforming your outdoor space into a great entertainment area with an opening and closing roof. louverhouse.com.au.
We've all been feeling cost of living pressures. That's why the Australian government is bringing in tax cuts from the 1st of July. They're for the drivers delivering the veggies and the people buying them, for the people working in offices and the tradespeople building them, for nurses saving lives and the teachers shaping them. They're tax cuts for every taxpayer. Visit taxcuts.gov.au to find out how the 1st of July tax cuts will benefit you. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
10 minutes to 6. We're live at the Elizabeth Tavern. We're heading off to Perth very shortly. We've got FIVEAA and we've got Collingwood for Friday night football. 82230000 number as well.
Well, Sturt Footy Club sadly got, I think the only word for it is attacked last night by a group of youths. And I was shocked to hear this on 5AA News this morning. Joining us is Club CEO Sue Dewing. Sue, good afternoon. How nerve-wracking was this for the club and the girls?
Well, it wasn't just the girls, it was the senior men as well. They experienced it, but certainly, we've got some quite young female players who were quite rattled by it and were escorted to their cars after the event. But yeah, it was nerve-wracking for all, I think. Also for our property manager who was threatened with a knife. So, not the sort of thing that you expect on a training night, that's for sure.
No. What damage?
There was quite heavy graffiti when that they came back and did late in the evening. More than we've ever seen there before. It was both the Jack Odie, the Mackay stand, the interchange shelters, canteen. It was. They really went to town.
Okay. Have you got CCTV? Have the youths been detained?
No, we do not have CCTV, but I think that is something that we need to look at now. We have it in part of the Odie stand, but that wasn't the part that they attacked. But certainly that's something I spoke about with the council this morning. And no, we don't know if the youths have been detained. We sort of have an idea of who one of the youths is. And so we'll be working with the police but I don't know what that's going to do if they are actually caught. So we will see.
Well, locked up for one, and clean the mess up too is where I'd start with that. So I don't expect you to comment on the back of that. Would a fence have helped this situation?
Oh, I'm not sure, Rowey, if it would have or not. We wouldn't use a fence to lock people out for training, so I don't think it would have helped.
Nah. All right, Sue, thanks for that. They've got a big game tomorrow at Undy Oval on Saturday. Sue, thanks for that. Yeah, very nerve-wracking. CEO of Sturt, Sue Dewing. God, that was just awful to hear that.
Yeah, not great at all.
In Adelaide.
Absolutely.
In Sturt.
Right. So Sturt play the Crows tomorrow. They kick off round 7 with a whole bunch of games tomorrow afternoon, Timmy, which I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, absolutely. The Bloods take on the Roosters. We know the Bloods are improving as they go along, and the Roosters are pretty good form. Of course, the big game we're promoting here today, Centrals v the Redlegs at
How many Centrals fans do we have here, by the way? We're
any
at the
Doggies
Tavern.
fans? Doggies
there's
fans?
a couple.
Look at them all.
Yes. Yeah, there we go. The
There's
Dogs.
a couple of go.
Chant is going.
Doggies.
You're guilty. Also, South Adelaide take on Port Adelaide. Neither have won a game, so somebody's going to get off the bottom there. So we'll find out that game.
Come on, North.
Sturt, of course, have got the Crows, and the big one on Sunday: Eagles taking on the Bays at Mornteen Tia Oval out there at Woodville. There you go.
That's a great round.
Should be
one of the great games of the year, you'd expect. Let's get to our next guest.
Timmy and Terry's tips.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, strap yourself in and get onto the saddle. We've got some tips for you, guaranteed. Absolutely, gamble responsibly. Terry joining me now. Now, Terry, we had an okay week last week. I think Episodic got up for me good self. I reckon you might have run third with Alpine Flyer. And I'll tell you what, your Hamslet nearly came good. It ran third, paying a whopping money, and it's running again tomorrow.
Yeah, ran fourth, unfortunately, Tim. Third would have been nice. We would have got a collect because it was big odds. It was about 25 to 1. Hey, just before we get to tomorrow, you've just gone through the Sandford round tomorrow. Can I just give a shout out to one of my mates, Pat Lambert. His son Harvey is debuting tomorrow for South Adelaide against Port Adelaide. So good luck to Harvey. His old man Pat's actually from Manangatang, and he was recruited from Manangatang by St Kilda. Never played a game of AFL League football for the Saints, but he did play in a premiership for their connected VFL side, Sandringham. So good luck to all of the Lamberts tomorrow. Big day with Harvey making his debut.
So Kalingadang, where's Kalingadang? That's down south, isn't it?
Manangatang.
Oh.
Right.
Where is that? Excuse my ignorance, Terry.
Yeah, well, it's somewhere in Victoria, maybe maybe in the sort of Mildura region. I don't really know.
Okay.
All right. Beautiful. All right. What do you got for us tomorrow? Murray Bridge tomorrow they're racing.
Yeah, giving Morphettville a rest, so we go to Murray Bridge. We generally do this at the end of the carnival, so it's a really good day. There's 10 races there. And we've actually got a really big weekend of racing. Hawker, it's a non-cab meeting there tomorrow in the north of the state, but it's Hawker Cup Day. It's a great community day. And then on Sunday we're racing at Mount Gambier for Millicent Cup Day. But as far as Murray Bridge is concerned, I think Delightful Shecky can win again, Tim. I see no reason why it won't. So race 9, number 10, Delightful Shecky, I've made the best on the program, but young trainer Dylan Kabosh with type panel riding.
Great call, mate. I had that one marked down myself. I love that. So that's a good one. That's going to be reasonable at around about $4. You got anything else? Are we going to go for Hamslet again?
No, look, it's going up in trip tomorrow, which worries me a little bit. But look, I'm sure it can run well the way Nicole Brueggemann's got the horse going, and Callum Murray gets on well with it. But that looks a difficult race date. I thought probably Smokin' Princess, number 3, was going to be hard to beat for Michelle Payne, who is coming across the border. Another good ride for Todd Panel, but my best value comes up in the last. Now it's got a run. It was the third emergency, but it will definitely get a run. There's already been some scratching. So number 19, King Moya, for our good mate John O'Connor, who like me will be very nervous tomorrow afternoon, hoping Carlton can bounce back against Gold Coast.
All right, mate. Well, good luck with that. I'm just going to throw mine in. Considering I'm tipping particularly well at the moment, let's...
big noter.
Adelaide Race 5, number 4, Sun Tzu, which I've backed before, hasn't let me down. And here's one, I want your opinion on it for a bit of value.
Yep.
Adelaide Race 7, number 7, Belmont Avenue.
Yeah, it's going well. It's had 2 runs this campaign, second both times. In a good stable with the combination of Aaron Bain and Ned Taylor, and it's got one of the up-and-coming young riders in the state, Jacob Opperman, in the saddle. So I think it's certainly there with a good chance, Tim. Race 7, number 7, Belmont Avenue.
Oh, mate, I reckon we've provided this whole room here at the Elizabeth Tavern with 4 brilliant winners. Good luck tomorrow. Thank you very much, Tess.
Well done, Tess. I've got mine as well, Tess.
Have you now?
I know it's your 2 segment.
What's your tip?
You know, you hog it and, talk about Carlton and Port, and I phase out.
Yes.
2 of the most boring clubs I've ever seen in my life.
Sorry, I'm just phasing out.
Yeah, okay. Port 25 points plus. If you put that into Crows 25 points plus, it's playing $2.17.
Guaranteed.
And I reckon that's a better bet than all those jiggies.
Gamble responsibly.
Who agrees?
Yes.
See?
All right. Well, you won the room.
Well, maybe I might get
popular tip.
Yeah. Do we have to say gamble responsibly?
Yes, you do.
Yeah, okay.
Can.
So
yes.
gamble responsibly.
So put a couple of $100 on that.
Only if you can afford it. Hey, Ruston Wines, we have to give away our best caller of the night.
Yes.
Oh, who is it?
We're going to give it to Steve. Congratulations to Steve, who called earlier tonight about the umpires.
Well done, Steve.
His suggestion was they should be made less known, take the numbers off their back.
Like it.
That way they're
back
not...
to 3.
That's right.
Be seen and not heard, like a little kid.
That's the best way to put it. Well done, Rowey. It is time for us to go with...
Will you like that?
5AA Friday Night Football coming up very shortly. We're going to head to Perth. 3-0 take on Collingwood. Well done to everyone who's come along to the Elizabeth Tavern. Thank you for joining us tonight. It's been a great show and a great company.
Well done. Thank you, everyone.
We'll see you next Monday from 4.
Great pub.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
At SEW Eurodrive, we're a global leader, bringing decades of expertise in